sports, only on the Liberty TV radio. I seriously love listening to it. Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Timmy Dakolo, and you're listening to Liberty TV radio. Stay tuned. Liberty TV radio, redefining broadcasting. Listen.
Okay, close your outer door. Because Siko no say voice, they disturb us.
Liberty TV radio. We are not just about radio, TV, or YouTube numbers. We are all about connecting with people and creating a community of great minds and values. Liberty TV radio. We dare to lead. This is radio like you never heard before. Liberty TV radio, the pathfinder for radio.
Yes, they say that the day the lion or the animal of the bush writes the story of the hunt, all of a sudden the hunter will no longer be the hero. Yes, that's what they say in the book, Things Fall Apart. Chinua Achebe, a great writer out of Nigeria, wrote that since the hunters have learned to shoot without stopping, the birds have also learned to fly without perching. Some stories that really makes us say the gods are not to be blamed, even though there is a marriage of Anasewa and it led to Overamen Ogbasi. It doesn't change anything because there was the days that we tag as the college days of John Ojo, and you push and push and push. And I realized that Eze have gone to school, and in that school there was Ali and Simbi. They were boys, but I know that currently they have become men and women, and they even have children, if not grandchildren, at this time. But we push on the story. People were sent to court to go and witness judgment, but it's like they all took balloon to the court because they were all sleeping. I don't know, but I know one man that will not be sleeping tonight until midnight. That man, his name is Emmanuel Sebastian, but most of you like to call him Manny because I know, like they say, and I've said it just now, as the hunters have learned to shoot without stopping, the birds have learned to fly without perching. What does that mean? As Saudi Arabia have made up their mind that Mo Salah is the one they need, Liverpool will keep on doing their night vigil. I hear that Eze Patrick is not going to eat today. He's in Celestial Ground, in Mercyland, praying and fasting and begging God just this one more time. One more time. Just give us this once. Let us have him for this season because he does look like this season is good. What is Liverpool with that Champions League appearance back to back? An Arsenal fan will tell you better. For 6 and 7 years, we felt it and they don't want to feel it. Well, there is a place that is now called Ashawo Hotel in the English Premier League, and that is Manchester United. It is the home of cover-up. It's the home of lies, deceit, and cheat. What's done in the dark is coming out in the light. That is how Manchester United look right now. As the girlfriend of Antony claimed, allegedly, that it was Manchester United doctors that treated her, and they told her to shut up, don't say anything, but she can't be intimidated. She can't be bullied. She can't be threatened. She's standing her ground and saying it through her lawyers. Well, we don't know who's saying the truth, but when you look at a club that have devil as their name, you know that they say the devil is a liar. And anything that comes out of it, all, everything about the devil has lied to it. That's the story we were told. Whether it is really the way it's supposed to be, I don't know. But I always wondered since I was a kid, how does somebody who is white and bright light, when his name was Lucifer, become black with 2 horns, short with a tail when his name becomes the devil? I don't think I believe that story. I don't care what you believe, but I'm just saying, It doesn't make sense. Well, one man is fasting and praying. He's told me he's not going to eat today until 12 midnight. I pray he doesn't have WhatsApp. But guys, if you have money, send so that I can give him to go and eat. I'm not sure that what he's really dealing with is Liverpool. Maybe he's broke and he's converting it into fasting. I remember growing up as a child, when we don't have money, my mother would say that she had a dream. And then in that dream, something bad happened. So all of us should fast. It's not really that anything was going to happen because I've been married for 12 years. I've not had a dream that something bad was going to happen, and fasting and prayer is going to be the solution, or subjecting my children. I have a 9-year-old son, an 11-year-old son, a 9-year-old daughter, and a 4-year-old son. Those children have not fasted one day in their lives, and bad things don't happen. Okay, it is suffering. But who am I talking about? Emmanuel Sebastian. Before we talk about this today, deadline day for the Saudi Arabia transfer, we've seen what's it called? Sergio Ramos come out to say that he doesn't like money. Really? One of the dirtiest player in football doesn't like money. Yeah, you play for Real Madrid, you don't like money. The Real Madrid, one of the most corrupt football club in the world, like Man United. Hey, I beg you. Hey, because you mean well, if you're watching anywhere you're watching from, do well to comment. Hey, Lulu. Hey, it's my sister. Lulu Anna Loretta. I'll call you after my show. So what I'm going to ask you now is, can you date somebody that you work with? Can you date somebody in your workplace? And think well before you answer this question. What do you do then if there is a nasty breakup? You know, there are breakup, like almost everybody I've dated, apart from one terrible, or two terrible evil girls. We still talk. We're not like we don't talk about. We're not like I can't keep my kids next to them. Okay, but I've had like ex-girlfriends that are very friendly with me. Some have become my wife's best friend. I don't understand that relationship anyway, but I mean, I got nothing to hide, so I just keep it going. Can you date somebody in the workplace? And if you do, if you say no, it's okay. But if you do, how do you handle a nasty breakup?
Good morning to you.
Good morning
to the listeners.
Morning.
Obviously, I can date a colleague in the same workplace. But what do you mean by nasty breakup? Like how?
Let me give you a picture of what a nasty breakup is. You're dating a girl. You're serious. I mean, she obviously know what you earn. You know what she earns. You people are planning. You're looking at walking down the aisle, going to court to sign, or going to church to see under the presence of the Most High God and the presence of man to death do us part, right? And you start finding out that she's sleeping with some other guys, maybe in the workplace or outside the workplace, and you know this guy, because that's where you go to work. You spend most of your time in the workplace. This guy always come to pick her up and go home like that, cinema places, and then you have to break up. But tomorrow morning you're going to come to the office and see her. Hey, probably your desk is facing each other. How do you deal with that shit?
But it's going to be tough. No doubt, it will be tough. It will take a lot of mental energy, mental strength to have to deal with that every day when coming to work. But I think you just have to take your mind off it. You just have to move on. If it happens, you can't because of
relationship not be waiting that they move on easily. Shut up.
But at the end of the day, you would move on.
I got a heartbreak, I got a heartbreak some years ago by one girl.
You move
call in the Dojoku. I stayed in one place for 4 years. 4 years.
Because that's you can't because of your breakup or your relationship tell maybe your seniors to fire the lady or to sack you. You have to come to work every day. You can't do that.
How do you deal with work?
Like I said, it's going to take a lot.
This show is getting interesting every day, man. I'm liking the fact that I can put it.
I don't want to put myself in that situation anyways, but man, it will take a lot of mental stress to be able to overcome that.
Best advice: don't date anybody in the workplace. You can't handle it. You go so mess up, eh?
So you feel there's no way to.
Two rules I gave myself when I came into radio. I've always worked. My kind of work, I've always not given me the room to date anybody like that in my workplace. Football, you don't. How many women there for your football space, right? And then when I worked in offshore escravos, the only women you see are the people in the kitchen that cook. There's no even room for interaction in the first place because you won't see them again after that morning food, afternoon, and maybe they are running shift. You might even see them once a day or once in 3 days. So it didn't even cross my mind. That's one. But then there is when I worked in Globestar for some time, there are ladies, but I think there was just no room for really that day because you're walking all greased up, coverall, helmet, face cap. You don't have the time. But then I worked in Brilla for 13 years. I worked in ITV too for like 3 years.
Yeah,
and in all those times, damn, ITV we got some beautiful girls. Jesus, they were fine girls. But you just know that there is the temptation of if I date any of these girls, I am done for on this job. You understand? Because most of them were in management, and you're always going to be careful. Now, another rule that I made when I started radio is never date your callers. Never had anything sexual, any relationship with the callers. And to be very honest, I think that where I come from, I'm practically the only guy who didn't have a relationship with female callers. Not everybody that I know have one or two. Like sometimes he got up to the office and became nasty. My point here is, what are your relationship rules, like does and don'ts? So I broke one. Normally, I don't date anybody too far from where I live. I don't want all those stress myself. I don't feel date you. I don't feel they Lagos they date you in Ibadan. I don't feel they Ajah they date you in Ibadan or Ikeja. That's not really. We're not dating. That's long distance, right? But I got married to somebody that lives in Igondo, and I live in Nigeria. But that's like exception to the rule. What's your dating like? No, I can't date like this. Like, what are your rules? Or you just live life on anything where I happen. Because there are some people like that. Me, I have rules that govern almost everything that I do. There are rules that govern me being your friend. There are rules that govern me being family with you, getting up close and personal with you. What are your rules?
Everybody has their own.
No, not everybody. Not everybody. Some people hitchhike through life. Yeah. If everybody have rules, they'll be order now.
Yeah, but for me, one of the rules I stick with is if I feel I can't date you if you have dated someone within my
circle.
Within my circle.
That's a standard boys rule.
I know there are still people who go on to do that, because I don't know how.
I ain't doing that shit.
I can't do that, especially when you're within my circle. Like I can't date you as well. Then pretty much that's because I honestly haven't think through it.
So you don't have color, size, height.
No. Of course, I prefer.
Can you date a dwarf?
No, I can't. To be honest, I can't date a dwarf. And this is no disrespect.
And albino.
I can't date. No, I can't date an albino. And I can't date if you have. I don't know if I should say this, but one deficiency or the other. Something like you are.
Just don't say it. Just don't say it, but I get it.
Yeah. So, and like I said, no disrespect to these people.
Yeah, it's a choice.
I can't. So I think pretty much I am more attracted to light-skinned ladies. Yeah, light-skinned ladies. Even if you're.
Will you marry a white woman?
Not necessarily white.
But would you marry a white woman?
It depends. But I wouldn't say it's be all end all. But it depends. But I can't sit here and say at the top of my head it's a target.
I know from day one that I was not going to marry my white woman.
Sit there
from day one, from day one.
What do you make of people who use that as advantage? When you travel out, you know what I mean.
So let me tell you my mindset from the very early age, and I'm pretty much a privileged poor boy. I'm a very privileged poor kid.
Because what I said that, I've had people who say to me like, "Guy, if you want come here, like if you want
come abroad,
forget any girlfriend here or stuff like that. You never see no woman there who like you, we can just give you that extra advantage." Because I've had one or two persons say that to me. So
69 Lema, brought an interesting angle to it. He said, don't date at workplace, don't date a neighbor. Jesus, date a neighbor. No, I don't feel date neighbor now. No, that's like you just like you'll be paying to rent. Not date a girl in the same church. I dated a girl in the same church.
Now, people, I think that's you can accept that.
Now church now be the place to start dating now.
You can accept that.
On Sunday, we don't dress Sunday best, tight body, Bobby the show, Yash the show.
But I get where it's coming
No,
from.
okay.
Sha. If
But-
there are too many others in that church, too many all these women who would say, see them, and then like, I
No,
would say,
no.
I get the young ladies coming
So
from
because
that.
naturally, I was a rebel growing up. Like no woman even get to. So I pretty much started making money early, and you know how that can mess your head up. I pretty started making money early. I think now I'm lazy seeking money. When I was young, I convert everything to money. Everything have my younger ones. If you talk to my younger ones, one of the nicknames they called me growing up is Mr. Financial Angle. Because everything to me, that's why when we started this company, my first mantra was if it's not making money, it's not making sense. Everything to me have a financial angle to it. I mean poverty, I need money to get out of it. So I grew up knowing that I was a lot more powerful than opinionated people. That's why till today, I do not, succumb to opinionated people. And I have a very strong opinion and I stand by it. People say it's rude, it's arrogant, you're stubborn, but this is who I am. So I dated in church because, so my mom also was this kind of person who, my mom served God, who go to church, do fasting and prayer, but my mom knew that there was a whole lot about church that was not right. So she would come home and tell us, no, when they talk, so that's what my mom is, because she's a very practical person. So we grew up knowing that leave all this church, nobody be holy for church. Like, come on, go and sit down. Women gossip, women talk.
Yeah.
That's why that pastor you don't get beleo. The way they work out, the way body they fresh, you don't get beleo. They're not gonna give a bad signal. So you hear all those things. You know that, man. You know all these people. God is not speaking to anybody there. They're just forming talk. Like, come on. So I didn't bother about that one.
So talking about women who guys who marry white ladies because of that extra money. What's your take on that?
No, so we all don't. They say all fingers are not equal. So first of all, poverty starts in the mind. It's a state of the mind thing. There are men who always believe that a woman is a ladder, like a leverage. So I need a woman that would help me climb. Especially now, it's even worse now in this your generation. I grew up in a generation where a man believes that he is the provider, he's the alpha male. They are no longer alpha male. We have leeches of men. Men are not leeches who, I was growing up. Let me tell you one thing that a lot of people would not like, but it's if you're a Benin person, you might not like somebody saying it, but it's true. You grew up knowing one person, or SARS, or Saibovo, or Aigbe, somebody who had that thing in their house that's going on in their life. A Benin boy will sponsor his girlfriend to Italy to go do prostitution, and then the girl will be sending money back, and he will be telling them, this shirt, back in the day, now just the shirt and shoes, now they send from abroad, now moto, that's extreme, right? Then maybe they send you 190 Mercedes Benz or V boots. That time there was no this Camry and Honda was not really. It was Honda Prelude, Toyota Celica. Okay, so boys will send their girlfriend abroad. I used to look at it as disgusting and irritating. Again, I'm not really. So I know guys who their girls they walk. I've never dated a girl like that. I've never dated anybody who would not have to be giving me money. So my system is not wired like that. I like my money a lot. My wife will tell you that yes, you are too proud. My problem with you is that you're too proud. Like I don't need my wife's money. I keep saying to her, I tell her once, I say, babe, one of the things that I will not come to, like I can't come to terms with is sitting and watching you work, make money, and then I ask you for money. I can't. But she had all the pin to my ATM. I don't have a pin. I don't need it. So that thing about going abroad, marrying, first off, if you know, the white woman that will marry a black man is a poor white woman. In any country, in any European or American country, a white woman that will marry a black man is a very poor woman. So you need her to get paper, but then she could also mess you up. There is no successful white woman that would ever want to have anything to do with a black man. Nah, police you die in jail. No, look at all the pictures you see. You see one old woman will be like the person where the boy with the marry, so the woman be like grandmama and say it's love. Nah, it's not love. It's not love. This is trying to survive. I've never been in that position. I've always known that I've got something about me. Like I say to people, I'm pretty much very intelligent enough to feed myself, right? So that was never part of my equation. My equation was not that loop-sided that I cannot fend for myself. So I never saw it. All those things that people do, pen power, send me money. Nah,
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I wasn't there. Never part of it.
Someone sent in a question here. What if you talk about love? If it's love or something. So the person does say, what if it's because of love?
It's not love. It's not love. Love does. See, first off, let me tell you something about all this talk about love, 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 love. Love is a feeling. So it's a transient thing. You can love in the morning and not love in the afternoon. When you want to make the decision about your life, you don't make it based on love. It's got nothing to do with love. Marriage is not love. Like I tell people that, every time, me and my wife, we don't have this whole lovey-dovey kind of. We are in a business together to raise a solid family and build a structure. We're not here to love each other. It's not it. We have a responsibility to each other to carry that responsibility. You see, this whole thing called love is infatuation. We've all been there in secondary school, in university. We've had that love, butterflies in your stomach, feeling because we read too much Mills and Booms, too much James and cliches. We want to replicate it. The thing is, as the Bible says that out of the abundance of your heart, the mouth speaketh. At some point, when you fill yourself with too much romance, too much love, you become like that. Look, people who watch a lot of horror movies, they're very mean people. They're very, very unpredictable people. They're very, very draconian people because the subconsciously that thing feeds into you. People who listen to rap music a lot are very aggressive people because whether you like it or not, that's what you feed yourself. So it's that whole feeling of who even tell you that you're in love? Who really tell you say this thing I love, right? So it's not love. It's infatuation. People you claim to love somebody and you're sleeping with somebody else and you're sleeping with somebody else, you're cheating. That's not love to it. It's just, you make me feel good. But a whole lot of other people will make you feel good. Doesn't a PlayStation make you feel good?
Yeah.
Doesn't your phone, the game in your phone make you feel good? Doesn't the meme on internet make you feel good? A lot of them make you feel good. They give you good feeling. Food, good cooking. My love is with my food, though. My love, so my food and my children. That's love. I don't know about all those. Hey, John Ogu, my guy, my favorite. So if you say I should name my 5 favorite Super Eagles players of all time, I'll put John Ogu there. And whenever I say this, people say, but he didn't play much. No, it's not about playing. It's about the man that he is, the person. And I'm very sad that a lot of people don't know that man. They just judge the footballer. John Ogu, when we started this business, I got fired on the 15th of August, 2017. I think on the 19th, I called up John Ogu, like, John, he just got his house at Chevron that time. I said, John, I want to come and interview you. And this guy opened up his doors for us, got us in. I mean, Kalajay obviously messed up that interview, no audio, but you remember that interview. But then, one day he came back and he come, I guess that interview no good, though. I think come back, no, do him again. He drove. Now look at the funny thing. He drove from his house. I think he was coming from the mainland. He drove and missed the turn here, the direction I gave him. Got all the way to Ekpe. Still turned back and came here. Like, look, this is sacrifice that you would never forget. I mean,
rare for some footballers.
Sam Soji would do that for me, but I grew up with Sam Soji. We're like brothers. So if he does it, not like I take it for granted, but I think I've earned the right for him to do. I'm not earned the right for John Ogu to do that for me. So that's one of the reasons why I always say, man, it's a top man, like top man in my list. Everyone know that Sondoli says my all-time greatest Super Eagles player about John Ogu, Judo Diagalo, Kenneth Omeru. These are some of my guys that I would always hold dear to my heart, like forever. And he was the guy who predicted what Victor Osimhen would be. This is like way back in 2019.
Yeah.
When he said Victor Osimhen will be this, we'll do this, we'll do that. People look like, I remember when I put out the interview, they say John Ogu was talking rubbish. Who's talking rubbish now? Let's come back to sports.
All right, let's talk about the show. Let's talk about coaches now. Coaches on the show today.
Coaches from where? Nigerian coaches or international?
Just coaches everywhere. Football coaches. Let's start with this Spanish coach. He's come out to say that he's back at his sacking. We all know the circumstances and all that. He came out to say that he just deserved to be sacked 2 weeks after winning the World Cup.
I don't think he deserved to be sacked.
Dismissed, and everything. He came out and said, after everything that was achieved, after giving everything working, my conscience is clear. I have given 100% over 17 years. I did not understand the decision. That's the sacking. I did not deserve my sacking. This team's success will be valued more with time, and I'm left with the doubt over what the footballing criteria are that meant I am continuing as a coach. it is a strange situation. What hurts most is that my honor and behavior are questioned. So these are the whole, talking about his honor and behavior. That's the whole circumstances around the circuit. So Spain has gone on to appoint first women's football coach. So in the case of this man, what next? What next for him with the whole thing around him, the whole circumstances, the whole sexual harassment and everything? How do you think he's going to handle this? Moving on. What next for George Villa?
The thing about life is stigma, negative stigma stays longer. It could take you to the grave. And the funny thing is that thing could eat him to death. Would I say he's got like a sexual harassment thing? Nobody's actually openly sued him to court.
Yeah.
So there's not competent courts that have found him guilty. Pictures do tell lies. We've seen that. This is the industry that we're in.
Yeah.
Pictures, sometimes the picture that you see from this angle is half the story. And you could look at it from this angle and say, oh, this is it. But from the other angle, there is more to it. So I jump up to celebrate with you and my hand touch your breast. Like that, in that one moment, my hand is like in front of your breast. Maybe upon reaction, I removed it immediately. But when the picture is posted, my hand is on your breast. So I am seen as a groper, as a sexual predator. But there is no history to it. It didn't just arrive here. The kissing and laughing is a different thing with the Rublias thing. So I think that if a coach wins a World Cup for you, and it is especially a first one, a sack is not the thing. There's nobody suing him. There's nobody saying, oh, I have been harassed, I have been sexually fondled or whatever. So I think it's a tad bit too harsh. And we live in a time where the court of public opinion is not stronger than the court of proper jurisdiction. So people would rather say, let's impress the optics than the dictates of the law. So we're no longer running on the dictates of the law, with the fine prints of the law. Rather, what would people say? What would people say have become a stronger word now than anything. Jordan Dennison being destroyed by the court of public opinion. He didn't do any wrong, no wrongdoing. He went to Saudi Arabia. Liverpool collected money. Liverpool did not insist, like they're insisting for Mo Salah now, that you must stay. They didn't assure him that you will play regularly. He moved because what a lot of these fans, and I say it all the time. That's why when I say people say you are rude, I don't listen to fans when it comes to football matter. Fans are very, very ignorant people, and any footballer out there watching will tell you the truth. When you're getting to that place where you want to retire, life is different. No footballer is happy to retire. Because listen, football does not give you a lot of options. My sister Blessing Akagbari will always say, life has not given me any options. So I'm left with living the life like this. Life has thrown more grenade, more bombs, more dynamite at me than I deserve in a million lifetime. And so I've chosen to live my life this way. Right? So when you look at footballers, when you get close to retirement, you now realize that your child, maybe your oldest child is 4, 5, 6 years. There is not a footballer in history that have graduated and have trained all his or her children through university. If you like, play to 50, right? That means that there is something that you're going to deal with as you go. And then you now pretty much realize how much you don't have, how much plans you don't have, because money in the bank is not money. Money invested, that is money. Money in the bank is not money. Anybody who tell you that money is you go check your account balance, you get 200 million. My brother, you not get money. Because every single day that passes by, there's inflation that is going to run on it and a whole lot to say. So when we live this life and keep it on the court of public opinion, we're really causing problem. We're really causing big problem. Imagine now the stories that are coming out about Antony. And you see what Man United did to Mason Greenwood, and you're like, what the heck is wrong with this club? So you've been covering this up, and then you couldn't protect this one. Why not protect everybody? I guess maybe if they are also protected Mason Greenwood, maybe this story will not come out. This girl is angry, like, oh, you do this to this guy, and then you're protecting this guy. Okay, let's destroy the table. Look at Man United now; they look stupid. So I don't think that there is any reason to sack the coach. You won the World Cup. You should be respected. I think that they've done the kind of things that Nigeria would do and will complain. And we'll say, oh, you wanted to do it. They've just done the worst. I don't deserve the sack. Winning the World Cup is not an easy thing.
Well, I mean, Spain has gone on to announce his deputy. His deputy as the new head coach. That will be their first women's.
I wish them
women's
success.
coach, yeah.
I wish them
So,
success.
That's the name. Let's from one coach. Let's talk about another coach. He's of Nigerian descent.
Coach Ayere?
No. He's been appointed as the head coach of the US under-19 team. I don't know if you
Men or women?
men.
Okay.
Yeah. So his name is Michael Insien. I don't know if you that name.
Okay. Yes, it does.
To you. I mean, we've seen a lot of Nigerians who get roles outside the country and doing well and all that. According to reports, we hear he applied for the flying English job, but he didn't get it and stuff like that. But what's your take on Nigerians? Going abroad, making name for themselves.
So
a lot of people want them to come back and help Nigerian football and all that.
No, work well, be successful wherever you are. I'm of the opinion that people should be successful wherever they are. First off, Nigerians have the most resilient genes in the world.
True.
So if you take a Nigerian out of this hell that we are in, and it's the hell that we're in is this country, because this is the only country in the world of the 205 countries that the country is set up against its citizens. This country is set up to make you fail, right? Let's call it spade a spade. If you take any Nigerian out of here, that's why a Nigerian that's not doing well in school in Nigeria, take them to school abroad, the top of the class, honor rooms. If you take a Nigerian, people like them, Blessing Okagbari, if she had schooled in Nigeria, she will not be on Hall of Fame. She went there not on her athletic prowess, but on her academic prowess, Hall of Famer in two different universities. And this boy that cannot even speak English, Divine Okorodudu, academically is top there, honor roll. Then you look at a whole lot of other Nigerians in their different fields, surgeon, even the ones that are doing mania job are still the best. You know why? Because Victor Osimhen said it better. He said, if you know where we're coming from and what we've been through, you will not wish us bad. And it's that mentality that Nigerians also use to hustle, because we are the only people in this world who always have a point to prove. Your own people always take a bet against you that you will not succeed. You will not make it. I mean, we grow up hearing things like this where I'm sure you grew up in a neighborhood where you hear a mother would say to her daughter or her son, "It's not go better for you." Like, that's a very common thing that we say. Now we know that those words are very powerful. They go to the front and build a pillar or a wall of obstacle against you, because every time they say those things, they are limiting you, they are reducing you, they are cutting off your grace. So you're running forward, but with tons of load tied against you. So the race is rigged against you. If you now manage, I wrote to Igor, for instance, a first class student doing his PhD now. If I wrote to is in Nigeria at his age, he will not be doing PhD. But it's in the US, it's doing PhD. Because I'm not really crazy about Nigerians doing PhD anyway, because they end up coming to give us penis enlargement medicine. But let's give credit where credit is due. So we survive against the odds here. So when you now take us to a place where the odds are in our favor, my brother, we're just there. Again, another thing that I don't, want, the difference again is when you are abroad, and you settle like Coaching Siena, who's settled himself with his qualification and the rest, applying to come coach in Nigeria, he will never succeed. It is easy to stay poor and survive poverty, but it is almost impossible to be super rich and come down to poverty. You cannot, adjustment is hard. So he's in an environment where everything works, where if you want to come, the lights are on, the beds are good, everything is fine. The grass is to the texture that he wants. You have different facilities that can give him result. You come to Nigeria. Let me give you a very good example. 2014, going into 2015, late 2014, Samson Sessa was appointed the manager of the under-23 team. And that's the last thing that went to the Olympic. The last Olympic would not have football qualification. And once he was appointed, the Go project, the place they asked him to put his players, there was no light. They didn't even provide hotel, like the hotel they normally stay with you. They didn't provide hotel. There was no light. The pitch, that's the place that they wanted them to stay in, there was light bill problem. Sasa flew to Lagos, came to meet Abu from him, and Abu came to my house. We sat down, we were strategizing. How do we raise money? How do we raise 400 million naira? And when people come out and say, "Oh, Salisu collected money," I'm not justifying criminality, But I am justifying when you set people up to fail, right? So Sasa came to Lagos and we raised 460 million. Like, we went to CC, we went to Unduka Rabo's house, we ate and we discussed how do we raise money. Is it a coach business to go and be looking for VCs that will raise money for a team? So if that guy comes from the US and he will not be able to understand. And if he doesn't have friends like Sasa have Abu, that money not go come. Like, I had to do things that I normally would not do for anybody. But it was Nigeria. Okay, we still did all that. Got people. The trip to US, we got Junaid to help us get that training camp in Atlanta. Then they got stopped. For the very first time. I spoke with the vice president, the former vice president, Professor Yomi Oshiba. I spoke to him on the phone. Like, my wife, like, are you mad? Are you okay? I said, no, I'm not okay. My country needs me right now. Forget about this. It was a night, time difference. I spoke to the former Senate president. Like, again, that moment gave me the idea that if you put your mind to anything, you'll be able to do it. The late Tinubu was still alive then. I called him. We were calling people like they were my next door neighbor. We got to Dangote. We needed his private jet. He said his private jet was in Australia. We got to Femi Otedola. It's like his jet is not even enough to carry 10 people. We were talking to different people who could make it happen. There was nobody until the whole Delta came up. Nigeria still don't know the story of how we won bronze. That bronze is the most important medal that Nigeria have won ever. If you look at it, the Atlanta 96 to the story, especially if you read the Sunday Listen book, right? But at the end of the day, that man that is now set up, that is functioning in a good environment, you think he can come here and function well? He go fail. He not go do well. The environment not go work for him. It is even easier when you're coaching the senior national team. You know why? Because most of the players of the senior national team have money. They can get away with some things on their own. The problem, let me give you Super Eagles. Super Eagles' problem is not the coach. I've always said this. Yeah. And when I say, but these guys are your friends. Yes, they're my friends, but I'm going to tell you the truth. The Super Eagles have too many divided blocks. And they've not had anybody to harmonize them. It's not like maybe, yes, we have a very terrible midfield. This is the worst midfield we've ever had in the history of Nigerian football, right? Defense, too, pretty much very average. But you see, unity of purpose can make me cover up for your weakness. They don't have that. It's a house of horror. The players, the Hausa boys are on their side, the Igbo boys are on their side, the neutrals, like the Victor Osimhen, the minority, they're on their side, the born in the abroad, they are on their side. They have not been able to break that divide because no matter the tactics a coach applies to a team, if the players are not a gang, you're not going nowhere. Tactics don't win match. It's a gang that win match.
All right. Well, before we go to someone asked, let's talk about the Ballon d'Or. Before we go into Ballon d'Or, I mean, we're talking about coaches, something. I mean, just struck me. Remember, he's away from football.
Yeah, I think the ban will be over next year.
Yeah, in August next year. I mean, he came out to say how tough it's been for him being away.
I know.
You know, the whole FIFA. Remember, he was served an initial lifetime ban. Then he went to appeal. It was fined as well. The fine reduced to, I think, about $50,000. But being away from football for such a long time. How do you, develop that passion again? Especially in this kind of case where it threatens your integrity and stuff like that. But you talked about Sasa, so it just struck me now. So let's just talk about this for a while.
Samson Sasa is one of the best coaches that Nigeria have produced. And I remember when that thing happened, I said that the West, the kind of warfare that the West fights, we don't understand. Mm-hmm. These guys, you need to watch a lot of cartoon movies, cartoon animation to understand. The West are so sophisticated. They are like Avengers. They think in that realm. They think in Spider-Man realm. They think in quantum physics realm. They look at you and say, oh, if we leave these guys and they produce 20 Samson Sasa, they will dominate the world. Let's cut them at their prime. Let's call them, because the thing about growth, let me tell you something about growth. When you see one person like you achieving something, 10 others will copy. When Nigeria won the Olympic in 96, that was the boom in football in Nigeria. Worry where I come from. Worry, I've always been the hub of football. But knowing that Wisin or Owoyo, as we call it, my classmates, Everybody know, like this is now this neighborhood day. It engineer a higher push for people to play football. And that's what gave birth to people like Darlington Omondiagbe, Usiao. One family produced like five professional footballers. Then you now have Roberta Carrier, Fred Edor. You now have all these guys, Okwa, Joe Imofe. It was off the back of the success of Wissinuruma. My younger brothers, all them Daniel, them the other ones, the one that went to Olympic in 2000, they not sabi play ball. But just off the back of, we all knew that Wissinuruma was the one lion that can take 100 goats to war against 1,000 lion and he kill all of them. That's Wissin. The Wissin we saw at national team, I don't know what happened. I can't even explain it. But me, as there's nobody in this world that can convince me that our coaches are play ball. Richie Wissin, not to talk of pass. But that conversation cannot be held in public places. I've had that conversation in private with people who play with them. Osando listen, in my podcast, said it. Wissinuruma is a better footballer than a coach. Dukudi said the same thing. What's it called? I'm supposed to be interviewing Dukudi today. Unfortunately, I can't. What's it called? Blessing Kaku said the same thing. And I've asked a whole tons of people who play with these two people, right? That's how good he was. But it wasn't just because he was good from playing in Pacific School to going to Doruma College and then going to Bendel Insurance as a teenager. Just 3, he don't sign for Bendel Insurance. I mean, just 1, he don't sign for Bendel Insurance. That's how good he was. He went to go play Oba Cup. Wissinuruma took Invisible Leopard to Oba's Cup, and everybody knew that there is problem with bad officiating. They were beating people like my Wissinuruma go up his chest, collect ball for your head, turn for air. Never reach guy, he don't slap us. They were football that this guy played. The saddest thing is it wasn't on video, so you can't explain it. Like I get emotional talking, and I'm getting goosebumps talking about Wissinuruma. And so when I see him in the state that he's in right now, like this is sad. This is sad. Like this guy, everywhere he go was a winner. Headmaster Cup is my school. You know how you're so good, 2 different schools are begging that you should play for them. Principal Cup, Donoma, they won it. The only time those schools won it was because Wissinuruma was in their schools. That's how good he was. Academically, 0. But that gift, football was his screwed over. Now, because he succeeded, he went to Olympic, came back with this Grand Cherokee Jeep. Everybody, even the ones that were super brilliant, academically sound, no one go school again, want to play ball. That's how Samson Sasa's success represents. Oh, no, let's cut him off. FIFA did not say this was his crime. This was his offense. They just gave him lifetime ban. How do you change lifetime ban to 5 years? It doesn't make sense, you know.
It doesn't say that FIFA could not prove anything.
There was nothing wrong with what they claimed, right? But when you come from a country like Nigeria, that's why I said Nigeria is a country that works against you. When you come from a country like Nigeria, if you do that to an English player, the English government will come at FIFA. The English media will come at FIFA. They will stand. Because they succeeded with Sasa, they did the same thing with Blessing Okagbare. What did they say Blessing Okagbare took? Nobody has been able to tell you this is the drug she took. They came at her because, again, she was prime at that moment to win the gold in the Olympics. Now, no, let's not give Nigeria this chance. Let's not give them this chance. These black people, they're coming again. But people don't understand. Jamaica is a different black. It's a black that's close to America, so it's a different black. They don't carry the African tag. So there are certain things that are not reserved for Africans. But when I say this, it's conspiracy theory. It's not conspiracy theory. It is right in front of us. You know how many years I've been telling you that the English league is fixed, and you people look at me like I'm crazy. Now everybody's saying it. Now everybody, even the English people are now admitting that, oh boy, they fix the match. They really the fix match. Referee will come out that I didn't let him go check the VAR because I didn't want to stress him. Football not be stressed. A referee running on the field to waka from center of the field, go check VAR and stress. But if you do that in Nigerian league, that's a match fixing. I tell you that then they do match fixing. You know, because my mom used to say this when I was younger. I thought it was a joke. Say, Oyibo shit, now cream for black man body. Oyibo mess, now perfume for black man body. So that's the way we see things. So I thought they cut him off because, you know, he had won silver at the Olympics in football. He had won bronze, and probably it's going to become another force that would lead a team that would, you know, create problem. Since they can't stop that, let's stop them now. You cut off Sasa, many other coaches lose interest in coaching. They don't want to coach anymore. Sandelise went to, was it Belgium or Holland, and took a ragtag team, a dead team, and they were doing well, gaining promotion, scoring 5 goals in matches, and then they created one nonsense, and he's out. In Belgium. Now there's like, oh, let's just make him a football director, office position, lock him up in an office, fill him up with paperwork where he doesn't know the practical of what he knows because this guy is too brilliant. That's what they do. That's what the system do. That's the organized system out there. So to beat that system, like I always say, if you have a functional football system, an ecosystem that works, that's why when they do all these things they do here, it pisses me off. Like you don't understand the game that is being played against you. You don't understand how this thing is rigged against you. This is like France hovering over 14 West African countries. This thing, this system that is at work, you will not see it, but it's happening. It's a long one. For me, I still think that next year August comes back, I will take a gamble to give CSI a coaching job, the national team. I will take that gamble any day, anytime.
I was about to ask, where do you see him going from here? Maybe outside Nigeria, just
No, outside Nigeria will be too far. But I think he does have a space in Nigeria. Give him another Olympic team.
Interesting.
Yes, give him another Olympic team. I mean, we've not qualified for any Olympics the last couple of since I've not qualified. So there must be something good he knows how to do. Give him another Olympic team. Let's go again. If he hits it right, then we start the review process.
All right. Since talking about coaches, I just saw on my Twitter feed now that John Terry is on the verge of joining.
Yes, Saudi Arabia said.
Why Graham Potter is turning down Leon. We don't know how.
They say politely turn them down.
So yeah. I mean, coaches, we have so many of them talented in Nigeria. We always give credit to Coach Ere for what he's doing.
Fantastic. Good. That's another guy. You know him. Yeah. You reported him from the beginning. You introduced Coach Ere to me. Coach Ere does that guy that was jumping like a monkey that saw banana. Does he look like a guy who will go to a Dubai and get the respect? Don't forget that Dubai is not really like nice people like that. But he showed up. The story. This is the story. Showed up, no paperwork, no Emirates card. Just come and do trials for a week. 2 hours into his training, they already gave him a job. That's the same guy that people told here in Nigeria that in football, it is not good for the junior to be above the senior. Yeah. So it wasn't about qualification, it wasn't about competence, it was about age. So even if the senior is doing rubbish because it's older, it's a Yoruba tradition, a junior does not stand over a senior. The Yoruba people did not form football. The rules of football does not apply to the traditions of Yoruba, but hey, that's what they used against him. And then they tried to take him from being a coach to put and be a opponent, what's that thing? Opposition analyst. And this is a good coach who could groom the future best players. But then he walked into Dubai within 2 hours. He's gone. He's done his time and he's not grown up. Yeah. Like he's growing through the rank. Very soon one day will be the head coach of the senior team. And he's watched them gain promotion through the process, right? So you look at that again. That's what I said earlier on. Give Nigeria just an averagely favorable environment. Let the wind just blow in their favor. They'll sail above everybody.
All right, let's move away from coaches. We spoke a lot about coaches, and hopefully, coaches out there in Nigeria can learn from this in their respective careers. Now, let's talk about the Ballon d'Or. Everyone's waiting for us now. I mean, it was trending on Twitter yesterday. The nominees were, released, and I mean, Nigerians, we are duly and well represented.
Compensation,
in the middle. So I don't want to say so you think we're not going to win it. Of course, if we're being honest, we're not going to win it. So
anything outside the top 3 of the Ballon d'Or nominees is compensation. That's the way I see it. But for Victor Osimhen,
top 30,
if he makes the top 10 eventually, I'll be happy. I'll be super proud for him. This is not me lowering the brand or the bar for him, but it is me saying he's been ages. And this is one of the guys that really does not get all the support that he deserves. There's so much criticism over him. People forget that he's just 24. I was asking one man the other day. I went to one insurance company. We're having a conversation, and he just brought the Victor Osimhen. Like, you don't ever see anything wrong with Victor Osimhen. That's my problem with you. I know you are objective. And I said, bros, at the age of 24, how many sensible decisions do you make? At 24, Victor Osimhen has won the Italian Serie A, he's won the Golden Boot, he's won the FIFA Under-17, he's built his own house, he has a child now that is joy and the distraction, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
And is this not the age between 15 and 30? Is that not the age where they say we should make mistakes? Is that not what they taught us in psychology class? Is that not the age where we make mistakes and we learn from them? This boy is not even 30 yet. So why is every mistake taken so serious, put under the magnifying glass and explode? Is it that you're angry with the money he earns, or the fame is God and you want to like bring it down all the time? Victor Osimhen have earned the right to make mistakes. One, judging by the job that he does. Like I used to say when I was in Brazil, I said, look, guys, judge me by the job that I do. I'm the best football analyst in the world, and you have me in your team. Don't tell me that people don't like my demeanor. I don't give a fuck about who like my demeanor. Am I good at the job? Don't ever question my method, because it's scientifically proven. I'm the best. You don't tell Messi how to stand when he wants to kick his free kick. He's proven himself that he's the best. So don't tell me people don't like my demeanor. Oh, the way you celebrate. No, I don't. Who cares about the way I celebrate? I'm giving you results, right? So you look at him and you judge him by that. But then people want to say, why is he on Twitter? Okay, is there a law that footballers should not be on Twitter? And then the ones that the Paul Onuachu that's not on Twitter, you guys complain. Oh, that's my problem with NDD and Paul Onuachu. They are not on social media. People don't know that. What do you really want, Nigerians? You want this, you don't want this. You want this, you don't want this. Where do you stay in one place? Let's know where you stand. So we don't say one thing with this person and then say another thing with this person. The thing is, with us, we would always find something bad about you as a person. To me, I'm sorry to say this, but it seems to be coming like, if you look at the top 10 most successful African and Nigerian footballers, Osimhen is on that list already. And he's just 24. Name how many Nigerians won league titles for their country, for the club that they play. And then you now put a ratio. They will do what they do in statistics. You now put a ratio of the possibility of the club they play for to win the league. So if you win a league with Ajax in the Netherlands, that's a regular thing. If you win a league with Chelsea or Arsenal, at the time they won it, that's a regular thing. You win a league title with Napoli, bro.
After how many years?
Bro, that's a treasure.
Yeah, really, it just makes me remember what Mauricio Pochettino told him during that live. That you don't know what he did now.
10 years from now,
yeah, that's when you know what you've done for the people of Napoli. But in case you don't know, he becomes the first Nigerian nominee in the men's category since 1999. Talking about Victor Osimhen, and let me just give you the players he's coming up against. Julian Alvarez, Nicolo Barella, Jude Bellingham, Benzema, Yasin Bono, Kevin De Bruyne, Ruben Diaz, Griezmann, Gundogan, Juscovadio, Erling Haaland, Harry Kane, Colomani, Kvaratskhelia, his Napoli teammates, Lewandowski, Emiliano Martinez, Lautaro Martinez, Mbappe, Messi, Keminje, Modric, Musiala, Odegaard, Onana, Osimhen there, Rodri, Saka, Mo Salah, Bernardo Silva, and Vinicius Jr.
It is Messi, Haaland, and I think Mbappe.
So yeah, this list will be between 9 to 10, then top 3 and all that. But I mean, you already said if he makes the top 10,
I'm done.
Yeah, okay.
If he makes the top 10, I'm done.
What do you think he will? Do you think he will make the top 10 for this list of 30 players I just mentioned?
I'm hopeful because 6 games in the Champions League, he's got 5 goals. 20. How many games he played in the league? He's got 25 goals.
26 actually.
26 goals.
Yeah.
And so won the league title, won the highest goal scorer, first African to win the highest goal scorer in Italy, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. First Nigerian to win the Italian league, and highest scoring Nigeria in the league as well within a very short time. So I think I'm hopeful that he would. I mean, with Victor Osimhen, I'm always going to be biased. So there's no objectivity in what I'm saying right now. I don't have sense when I talk about Victor Osimhen. I hope that's what I can say. It's not. I don't have analytical facts to argue. But if you're going to pick everybody from Italy and you're going to pick only maybe 2, it's him and maybe Lautaro Martinez. The reason why I'm picking Lautaro Martinez over Kvaratskhelia is that Martinez won the World Cup. We're not going to take that for granted. He won the World Cup. He won the Copa America. Got to Champions League finals, and also won the Copa Italia. So all of those are massive success. So that's it. Osimhen won the league and won the highest goal scorer and did pretty well. I mean, with a Napoli team that scored the highest amount of goal in the group stage of the Champions League last season. So that's something that's a plus for him. And then you go to every other league and pick. So I think I'm hopeful that we'll make the top 10. He makes that top 10, I'm good. Because it means that he would be at the gala. I just want to see him wearing that black suit or whatever color of suit he wants to wear and be at the gala. I'm fine. I'm not dropping the bar. I just know that there are people that are in that category that is way ahead of him right now. And I'm okay with him being, first off, Usain Bolt failed woefully in Athens in 2004. Let's remember, let's keep that in our memories. In Athens in 2004, Greece Olympics, he failed woefully. Didn't make the qualifiers and got knocked out. Came sixth. But guess what? 4 years later, good measures pressed down, shaking together, the rest of the world could not touch his list. As a matter of fact, became the first person in athletics history to get close to the finish line and slow down. And he still set a world record. That's how good he became. A failure 4 years ago and an incredible success thereafter. So I can take him just being on the top 10. The nomination, even, I'm happy for him.
Yeah. The women's category, of course, that's her second consecutive nomination.
Nigerians will tell you that she's not good enough. There's one idiot on our comment section that said, "Now only tapping goal should be scored." I was like, this is typical Nigerians.
Okay, let's talk about Aziza Oshoala. This time, she makes the top 10 based on her football, because the last time she was nominated was for the Socrates Award for her academy and all that. But this time, she's been nominated for what she's done for her football. So what can you say about that as well?
Again, Asisat is like Victor Osimhen in my books. She's the best out of Africa, 5-time African Women Footballer of the Year. That's not a joke. There must be something right. She's doing. She's won the Champions League. She's Africa's most successful female player, most successful in all ramifications. And the best player coming out of Africa should be in that list of the Ballon d'Or every year. And I think she's earned it. She's deserved it. She's walked away. She's not a product of accident. She's walked away from her days of FC Robo. I mean, if a male footballer have in his CV Arsenal, Liverpool, one other club in England, okay, Arsenal, Liverpool, then FC Barcelona, leave the other club, leave the China and the rest of them. If a male footballer have that, do you know the respect you give them for life? That's legendary status. Meaning that even at retirement, you could walk to the Nou Camp and get free access. You could go to the Emirates and get access. If you go to Anfield, whatever they turn it to be tomorrow, and get access and be able to speak. I mean, all them Eniola who played for small clubs and they still get all the respect that they deserve. And then you now add the fact that you win African Footballer of the Year 5 times, and the more you're going to win the 6th one now. You now add the fact that she won Syria African Women Nations Cup, and then you add the only African to score in 3 different Women's World Cup, and then you win the Champions League. How many African women have won the UEFA Champions League for women? So there is this thing about her that I think that this is an enigma. Like, look at Mata. Mata's not won the World Cup. Mata for Brazil. I've not won the World Cup. People forget that part. But in Brazil, she's in the Neymar, Ronaldinho level for women. That's the kind of respect she gets, not only in Brazil, but in South America. And I think that that's the kind of respect Asisat Oshoala deserves to get. That's the kind of breath we're supposed to be calling her name in. But then again, this is a continent and a country where your success annoying people. Because you're successful, people get angry. People like it when you are in shallow waters. That's why, for instance, an American will say, "I'm the greatest, I'm the best." People will say true, right? In Nigeria, will say, "I'm the greatest, I'm the best." Say you are proud, you're arrogant, you're full of yourself. Humble yourself. God resists the pride. God never resists the pride in America. This one, God now. This God won't get so. The Nigerian God, is he a slave master? When Nigerians say they are good, when I say they humble themselves. When Americans say they are good, say yeah, they are the best. They are the best. You can see they are the best. They're confident. Oh, what's wrong with you?
In case you don't know, it's a historic feat for Nigeria, where having a male player and a female player nominated.
First time ever.
First time. So massive shout out to Asisat Oshoala, and we are the first country to have male and female footballer nominated for the prestigious Ballon d'Or award.
So let's go to messages before people will cut our neck. Say, you make a promise and you're breaking it. Now that's why we don't want Emmanuel to come to the show.
I don't know that one.
Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Silas Agbo say eloquent greetings. When I need the greets, when I contribute to the show. Dante 2310. Greetings, people listening from site, office as usual. Keep the work going on. There are many bills to pay, my brother, so I can understand. Sister Elema say, don't date at workplace, don't date a neighbor, don't date a girl in the same church. I've taken that before. And I say same branch of the church. Before you know, your gist will be all over the place. Why are people afraid of gist? I like my gist being everywhere. I always wanted to be famous anyway, so I like my gist being everywhere. So I think he said now survival strategy. Okay, Mr. Sugar one. I tried to send him a DM. Mr. Sugar, send me a DM. Baba, this topic today, yes. And Chooks, this man have the capacity and the ability to furnish your home, your office, your businesses, your church, your shrine. If you want to, he can give you furniture for your shrine if you want, and your mosque and anywhere. Just reach out to him. Chooks_EE, search for him, you will see. He said, your station is on loudspeaker here in my shop, here in Alaba, and me and my guys are listening to you while having breakfast and arguing some of your points. Well done. Thank you very much. That's why you're my guy. You guys want any furniture, you're building a new house or you're buying a new house, you're moving into a new house, and you want some of the best furnitures that your friends will see and say, hey, oh boy, Obodo Ibo, you don't go by this one. That's the man to go to. Look for Chooks EA, and on Instagram, Chooks_EA. E for Idafi or Edo or England, A for America. Saviki says, so Elegwete, where did it start from? I still remember how Kachika was so powerful then. Who's Kachika? Was so powerful then because he opened the doors for professional. Stevie Keshi want to talk professional football. He is one of the people that started this Barak things. Okay. Oh, okay. Stevie Keshi, that's what you wanted to say, and I knew. Yes, he's one of them that started it. When you push people to the wall, they begin to form defense mechanism, and then if you push a lot of people, you know how they say like attracts. You know, like when you see 5 pregnant women talking, they start talking about the early morning signs, the first trimester, second trimester, and the rest of them. Like, you know, now semester I know before, but then when you get married, you start knowing trimester and all the behavioral patterns that come with it. Okay, so it's just what happened. The system, because the system fought against them and then they gang together. But in their own case, they were using it to get result with the national team because they knew that the national team was the only place that they can prove that they are better than the distraction of the media and the politics of the administrators. But unfortunately, these current Super Eagles, I won't tell you lie. This is the first time I watch the Super Eagles because I don't have a choice, right? It's my country. But the Super Eagles disgust me in terms of footballing terms. You cannot be a professional footballer, especially the wide men. And I'm always going to say that you can't cross it, but you don't know the difference between crossing and cutting back. That's one. Again, the midfielders, God, there's no sense of urgency. There is no understanding that, okay, let's control the tempo of the game. There's a time to fasten the pace, and then there's time to really cool it down, retain the ball, pass the ball around, and look for the man that is free. We just play the ball, let the time be running. We're letting the clock run instead of us to play the ball and impose ourselves and put a style on the field of play. You know, exhibit that professionalism that you want to see. Unfortunately, we don't have that. Okay, Big Sammy _OG say, so with the Osimhen nomination, does it make him the favorite for African footballer? Osimhen is not the favorite. That award is already won. Osimhen is the owner of the award. You should be when you say favorite, like Osimhen is competing with somebody. Who is he competing with? Onana. Onana 4 games don't consist 7 goals. That's the guy we're talking about. Leave choir master where they do conductor work. Leave that one. I'm talking about footballer. Smart. All these people they do greeting. I'm not going to read my messages again. Cincinnati, Victor Osimhen should be in the top 6 if he were Brazilian. It matter for carry weight. Again, that's another plus. If you're Brazilian, you would obviously get high ratings more than any other person. On YouTube, Mike can say money by good morning to you. I know me, Olara, you say good morning, boss. I'm totally agreed. I know Olara say live watching from Tallinn. Miss your voice from Brilla FMDs. Thank you very much. You're not missing it anymore. It's here. And the good thing with this is that it is recorded and it's there for life. You can always go back and listen. My Mike, I say network don't start again. Oh, don't think it's from here. My network is good. Workplace relationship, it's not easy. Oh, I can tell you, because they know when your salary is cut, they know when you get the bonus. You want to have that power over your resources sometimes. If let me tell you what I end, it better say you already know. And then again, I used to have a friend who was dating the head of human resources in his place of work. I told her, I said, your babe will sack you one day. The day when they'll sack you, your babe will give you that later. I was joking. 1 year and 8 months later, he sent it back to me. My babe, nice sack. Talk. I said, he crack on my house. Ugo. I said, but I tell you, he said, how you take no? I said, she go sack you. Because when management don't know, she dey management, you know dey management. Management go call her for meeting, come tell her make she decide between you and herself. And human, the way we are designed, you always choose number one, self first. That's why even God say, love yourself, love your neighbor as you love yourself. You don't already first love yourself before you can feel love your neighbor. And the guys like, yeah, I said, yeah, that's why now this job now you don't get. And you know the way bank job be, they sack you for bank. No matter when you resign for bank, move to another one. If they sack you for bank to get job again, they hard. You finally have to run go South Africa. My Mike, I say the guy not like testing. I wrote to Regan says, I agree to Chief Legote one, make them give to Haaland or the Ballon d'Or. That's what it means. Haaland, I think that Messi I could give up to. Hey, see my guy, my first ever producer, Image Crystalia. He say, "Wow, my brother, I don't know how the family." That's the first ever producer of this company. That's the guy that started this company, the building block, the legend, the people that their face will be on our Mount Rushmore. Arature says, I feel Haaland should be given the award. Really? I feel Haaland should be given the award. All this talk about Messi winning the World Cup. Yes, I do Messi should win it. He should win it. I don't think that's fair. Haaland won the treble, for crying out loud sake. Okay. Let's look at it from this angle before we overjump this thing. Messi won the World Cup. The World Cup for me is a very big thing. He won the World Cup with the weakest team he's ever played with in his Argentine history. And his career is closing. Whether we like it or not, he also won the French Ligue 1. Yes, you can argue the Champions League, the league title, and the English FA Cup. But when I sit down here, I would forever, in the words of Griezmann, I would pick a World Cup any year over league titles because you can win them every year. The Champions League also, you can win anytime you want to win it. But you say winning the World Cup, you win it once, you might not win it again. Yeah. You might not win. How many people have the privilege of winning the World Cup back to back? Okay? Some people try to win it, get to the finals, but something happened, they don't get to win it. So for him to win the World Cup, we used to argue, some people used to argue that Messi will not be all-time great if he doesn't win the World Cup. Well, hello. The claim of Pele to be all-time greatest was winning 3 World Cup. No Champions League, no proper club football outside of Brazil. But then, so you're not going to reach Messi turn now, and then you not want to bend the rules. No, it's not going to work now. Bobo could play by the rules. Please, if you are on the YouTube live, please do it to like the live. You not go come out money for your bank account. Just like it. Just click on the like button and we're good. But it does not mean that Rotary doesn't have a point. You have a point. Like I always say, 2 truths or more truth can stand side by side, but this is my own position. My Mike can say I concur with your explanation on our national teams, coaches, and gang as players. Akimbola Larry, he says same card the West played against Blessing Okagbari, the same card being played against Toby Amusho again. Yeah. I wrote to it, I say it's good to see Victor on the list. You know the funny thing, when Blessing will happen, I remember people like them, Darius, everybody was just writing. I said, listen, it's good as not a girl opinion, and I understand. I said to them that you're not saying this Blessing Yoruba girl, I'm not right on this thing. They said, no, why am I talking like that? I said, don't worry. Very soon, a Yoruba girl will be successful. This system will work against her. When I go shock, when it go happen. She the first come say she avoid drug test. You know how the system of that drug test works. Let me tell you how it works. First off, anywhere, if you're an athlete, and a lot of people don't know this, if you're an athlete, anywhere in the world you move to, whether an emergency movement, you must inform them where they go. Where you go be there at all time. That's what this thing is. If they won't come test you, they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you, say, we're coming so day or so time. There is a 12-hour window of daylight that they have access to you every single day of your life. If they come and you live in a gated estate, right, and they get to the gates, they cannot get access to you. It is considered that you have missed a drug test. That's what it means. If you move a house and you never even settle into the estate, and they come and they try to reach you, they go to your former house, they not fit reach you, it is considered that you have missed a drug test. So the life of an athlete, people don't put all those factors into consideration when they are judging them. So she escaped it because she got a lawyer team, everybody were alert, she escaped it. What happened when she went to the race? Did you see how that happened? Because they've messed her up psychologically. Yeah. She was on the track, but she was not there. They amputated her soul. So even though the body was there to run, she didn't have the soul to drive that speed anymore. And the person who was setting world record, who was running over, all of a sudden just go to assist. It's not that surprising to you. That's the system. Come up, your job. When you go to award ceremony, there are people who are for cameras. They sit in front. Then there are people who are called seat fillers. That's their job in Hollywood. They are seat fillers. They even did a movie about seat fillers. You sit at the back. You don't unnecessarily jump up and make noise, no matter how excited you are. Your job is to sit so that when the camera pan, they will see plenty of people for that hall. Because the hall, all those Palladium halls, they are bigger than the people that you invite, the VIP, VVIP. That's why after that, they get the governor's ball or the VIP ball, the after party. You have access to that award, but you don't have access to that ball because that ball is for the selected few that go there. Now, these are the kind of things that happen. They cut you off. Like, your job is supposed to not to come and win. Your job is not to come compete and win. Your job is to just, fill the seat. We saw it just now in Italy. Victor Osimhen played lesser game than Farastella. Scored more goals. Farastella was best player. How? What's the proof? On the evidence of what? Did he provide the highest assist in Italian league? No. Did he score more goals? No. Did he create more goal scoring chances? No. But was the best player. So you see this thing, the highest goal scorer award, you can't argue against it. So anybody, that's why people like them, Drogba, Mo Salah, all those black players can go to Europe. So far you score the goals, you're a winner. But then there are certain things, they'll manipulate it away from you. That's the system. You have to fight. When we're growing up, when we play youth football, they'll tell you, play against the referee. Play against the referee. If you play youth football and your coach don't tell you this thing, I'm saying you don't play better youth football. He said, play against the referee. All those, this thing you see now, you see somebody go to raise a hand. When you play before, you try that to your coach, go bring you, flung down your hand. Chris. Coach used to say, you be Shagari. Back in the day when civilian government, if they drive, you raise your hand. You raise your hand like Shagari. Come on, drop your hand. Because you're playing against the referee. When I played in Nigerian league, there's this thing we used to say. They say, referee no move where the lead to go. He go stop him before the move go start. And we didn't understand. But then when you start playing in the game, you know that these referees, they actually no move. Counter-attacking football, they'll just give you unnecessary foul. They say, what foul did they before? They'll give you foul where you don't go to use. They say, if football, the politics of the game is higher than what the ordinary human. Hey, Drew, my brother, how you doing? Drew, how things now? It's been a while. Sorry, I promised to call you back, but I did not. I'm sorry, but I mean, so much is happening in my space, so sometimes it's like that. Aaron Torres says, it's good to see Victor on the list. Thank you very much. Victor again says, it's funny that people think Victor lied about his age. Well, when people say that thing, typically, I look at people and I say, how do you even come up with this conviction? Like, again, you see, what was the player? I was talking about one player. I said, Jack Wilshere. I was telling somebody that said, you see this Jack Wilshere, Theo Walcott, Jesse Lingard, that their career just go like fire with a pour water put. If these were African players, the only reason why their career not blossom will be age caught up with them. There are so many Western players who are like that. The other day, I was having a talk with someone. I said, if Paul Merson, one of the most talented midfielders to play in the English game from England, or Paul Gascoigne were African players, we will attribute all the things that happened to them. And what's that central defender? Tony Adams. Everything happened to them, whether attributed to age or juju or village people. But because now Yibo people it happened to, we are okay with it. So we got to understand that certain things that we say now the civilization, we should have sense. Back in the day when people did not know the difference between being AS, AA, and the rest of them, or SS, people marry. And AS marry AS, and then the born picking they sick and die. They'll say, "Na Biku, na Ogbaji, na evil spirit, na Mami water picking." These days, you dey hear Mami water picking again. Say anytime when the mama get belly, he pass water, or the time when the mama get belly, go back for water, and that time the mama water they come out. Now make you hear the story that they're ridiculous, but we believe them. Now do we still have that? Small science, small education have come and say, oh, you are AS, you cannot marry AS, so there's a risk of sickle cell. In another 50 years, you're not gonna get sickle cell. When I say white people, then they get sickle cell. Now because they get education. But I say, no, white people don't carry the gene of sickle cell. No. Over time, we will no longer have anybody will be SS again. There will be no sickle cell again because that mistake education is now, eradicating it on its own. It's like tribal mark. Tribal mark was that they didn't go to court or go to any legislation. One day you just wake up that this thing is not necessary now. You don't need to put mark in my face to identify me as an Igala man or Ibadan man, Baba Ibadan or Baba Ijebu or whatever. We can identify ourselves, our people. So this is some of the things that we need to understand. But hey, when people talk about age, let's leave it aside and move on with our life. I wrote to say, okay, sorry. Olama to say, I like when Emmanuel is in the studio. That's when you see the best of Mr. Elegbete. I like it when you are being asked questions. I'm not a presenter. I've always said I'm an analyst. That's why I do my job. I'm an analyst. I'm not a presenter. I've never liked being a presenter anyway. I started falling in love with interviewing people because storytelling is also something I'm not a presenter. So I will always flourish when I have a presenter asking me a question. You make talking football look easy. Plenty of hard work, my brother. Arthur say workplace relationship can be messy. See, take it from experienced people. Oh boy. I didn't do it, but I've seen people that messed up their life. They now become vindictive, they now become wicked, trying. God. First off, women are wired emotionally. One guy will come to work for the same workplace. Girls in that office go they hide the guy. So the woman will come there uncomfortable. Anytime I see you and any other office get the shop or the play, she go they think because they all speak in the same circle and they can't hide it. And then Jesus, especially those of us where I don't dare on air before one woman calls say if I talk, she they wet. So imagine if my colleague and they used to use it to mess me up in the office. Hey, you. They form sexy. That's why you have tiny voice. Where your mates they get baritone voice, But it's one of those things. Now you are dating somebody in the office. It says she go get comfortable. And I used to tell my wife, babe, don't listen to my show. Don't listen to my show because it will mess you up. If you try to listen to my show, you go hear things when you know one year. You call hit your husband. Just focus on your Agodinaruwayo and your Wazobia. Enjoy them. Don't listen to me. This guy is a madman in the studio, and we had that deal in workwear. Where do I stop? Continue. Aruturego says, well, some people think that Messi World Cup was predetermined. Okay, no, we talk. Those people, they always talk like that. Let them talk. I just realized Digital Format is not on Instagram, it's not on Twitter, it's not on what's that new one? Thread. It's not, you don't get Thread. I don't understand. I was trying to chat you up and actually say proper thank you for what you sent to Emmanuel, and I couldn't find it. You know that YouTube, you can't even chat somebody, so it's crazy. There's no private chat. Digital must say workplace relationship is something to run from or resist the devil and it will flee. Ferdinand can say I can't date my neighbor, my colleague, my friend, sister. That one. I put a gun to your head. Don't really have much spec in women. So me, I grew up knowing that I dated my friend's sister once. Yeah, that's like the first person I fell in love with, and that's the person that broke my heart, and I knew that was the end of the journey. Now, one thing is when you're my friend and you start coming to my house, I have sisters. So I have biological sisters and I have adopted sisters. If you know me, you're my friend. And so forget saying we work together, but you're my friend. If you realize, I always remind people of the rules around me. And then they leave things to chance. And then they leave things, say, but you don't tell me. As you start coming to my house, I will bring my sisters and show you, show all these people. I don't care how senseless your prick did. No date them. And I will not give you stories of people I don't fight with. So if you get juju, just go do now. So that you go feel beat me. The way I fight is very nasty. Our friendship means nothing. Don't go close to my sister. Forbid them. I'll call my sister. You see all this, my friends? Forbid them. So that we don't get issues. And I think by God's grace, it was one Aquin son that he came to become my friend by accident. And then he was not trying my sister. Now I say, guy, your papa money not going to save you. Your papa money, your brother will be Senate or House of Rep, he not going to save you. The thing I go do you, the guy, he work for one of these FCMB now. I said, the thing I go do you. You don't get life going forward. You go there life, but you don't get life going forward. You like you want to that for wheelchair. Yeah, sometimes you just make it clear. It's not a threat. It's something that I know I can. Because I don't want that nonsense. I will go sit down. They G's, they eat. They're going to talk about my sister. When we say boys, I like to talk about what they do to girls. Yeah. Nah, not me. Not me. No. See this guy. So what this person do his sister. I need a stranger. I don't want to know you. That's why I was with my sister. I don't want to know your boyfriend until I don't marry. I don't want to know them. Hey, additional mama say I did X, so I and Tread. I did X and Tread. No wahala. Tell me DM, make I know say you did it. And find you. How do you for my see? I see one for my for Instagram. The last post when they make like 2015. If you go for my digital, I see this one. I'm not sure saying that you pack children for the post. Well, let's continue.
Some more comments to
no, I'm done with the comments.
Let's wrap up with it. I mean, someone's asking about. Chelsea asked about Nottingham Forest striker only 48 hours before the deadline.
Thank God, say no go. Thank God, say they don't sign up. Oh, I spoil my young boy career. For they know that the go take time me go do that. No. We're not trying to assemble Travis Scott here. That boy is a child of God.
I just said it was nothing now. I think this is credible. It's from a Nottingham Forest writer who writes for the Athletic. So Chelsea inquired about only 48 hours.
He suffered them now for that match. He suffered them.
But you wouldn't want him to go to Chelsea right now.
No, right now it's just like what I said about Victor Osimhen going to Chelsea. You know, I predicted this whole Chelsea thing. Yeah. When we're in the group, do you know we have more conversation in the group than on this show? Yeah, because it's longer. I was telling Precious that Chelsea is not in a place where they are in a desolate land. Okay, they are in Dubai of 1975. It's not an attraction. They need to build the real estate, need to build the road. The Chelsea team doesn't have a spine, it doesn't have a direction. Mauricio Pochettino does not come eventually because this team does not have the coming together. But I'm still waiting for Nkunku to come in. I don't know why I have so much faith. So much faith in that boy that it's going to be the link between the midfield. Because I still think that Gallagher is good. I still think that Enzo is good, above average even. I still think that there is something there in that Disasi or Dasisi, whatever his name is. Thiago Silva, Thiago Silva is still Thiago Silva, full of experience. I don't think the goalkeeper is that bad. The body parts are there. They just need a good fabricator to put them together, and then body job, proper paint, and then you have a Bumblebee back on the road, flying again. Right now, it's just body parts all over spare. There's good engine there. There's good engine block. There's good turbo. There's good shift, gear shift, and all that. But it's just not assembled properly. So I'm waiting for Nkunku to come back and see what Chelsea turns out to be.
All right, let's wrap up with this one from our day. I mean, it's obviously not happy with the MPFL. Said, bros, I beg, I don't tire for this. Our MPFL.
I put out a video to that.
Maybe he didn't see that. So it's this, like he wants to hear your take. He didn't put it on Instagram. I think it's a 10-minute long video. So
yeah, it's a very long one.
So I don't know if you want to shed more light on that, but in case you don't know, just ask the MPFL, the league won't be resuming this weekend. It's been postponed. And he said Davidson won't come out and say that we have everything set for the kickoff in Ibadan on Saturday, but following representations from multiple stakeholders and more projects is a complex logistic involved in having our chairman and club's leadership travel from Ibadan to Rio. So that was what, according to the words of
Why is that a problem?
Davidson.
That comment is the stupidest comment ever made. First off, you don't tell us that
But he
shit.
also went on to say there will be no flag of game this Saturday. There will be no flag of game this Saturday, September 9, as originally planned. So that's
So the communique
it's season off.
the communique itself is the problem. The communique that they put out is the problem. I don't think that they should have played the game in itself. I remember, when they said they were going to play the game, I said they shouldn't play. Now, this is the communique. September 6, 2023, chairman / general managers, all MPFA club. Yes, sir. Postponement of the MPFA 2023-2024 season kickoff. The board of the Nigerian Premier Football League, MPFA, wish to inform you that the scheduled kickoff for the 2023-24 season has been put on hold and a new date will be communicated to you. Now, this line is where I have a problem. When is this new date going to be communicated? This is due to the exigencies connected to the sponsorship of the league. That's a lie. Note, therefore, that there will be no flag off game this Saturday, September 9, as originally planned. This is for your information and necessary action. Please, yours sincerely. If I understand the way most of the clubs operate, they buy, apart from Remo Star that is really ready for this business and everything is there. They have their own plane, they have everything.
Yeah.
They buy tickets ahead. I have suffered. The reason why I didn't make profit from production was because I have a match on Sunday. I get my money sometimes on Friday night or Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening. So you're buying ticket very late and you're scrambling for 6. There are some games where we have to take people to Abuja and then they travel by road to Jos. Those were the reason why we didn't make profit. If the money was coming in early, you book your seat ahead and you know how cheap that is. So let's say Plateau United have booked their seats ahead. This is your decision. And if it is sponsorship, where were you? Where were you when you decided that the game was going to start? I remember when they put this day 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks ago. I called them and I said, it's international weekend. Why not just Nigerians would understand? So because there's international break, we're going to play. There's no sponsor. We know there's no sponsor, but GTI is still trying. Yeah. I also reminded them that you just have an election. The new set of governors just came in May. It's going to be difficult for some of this club. Let's find a way. That was why I prescribed. I proposed another abridged league, but they shut me down. Again, why I like this is the club will say make them not do another abridged league. Now then they complain now. That's one. I think that the way they communicated it is where I have a problem. The MPFL or the MPL also owe the fans. This is a communicate to the clubs. You also owe the fans. Some people have bought train ticket Lagos to Ibadan. Some media people decided, for the sake of this league, we're not going to go Super Eagles. Now, if you're a content creator, you know that if you follow Nigerian football, Nigerian media, you know that now freelance journalists don't outnumber normal real journalists, right? So the freelancers, what are they working on? They're working on traction. Look at me, for instance. Nobody is going to give me adverts based on the numbers that I have. They are very, very small. So I keep working hard to grow that number, meaning that between 2017 and now, I'm funding it with my own money. So if I have a chance to go to Super Eagles, a video in Super Eagles will give me 100,000 views at the minimum, one video, minimum 20,000, 50,000. So if I do, say I go to Super Eagles camp and I do interview with Victor Osimhen, Victor Osimhen is a sure banker, 50,000 plus, right? Because this is how this thing works. This is how you calculate it. Right now, everybody wants to hear from Gift Urban. Everybody wants to hear from Victor Boniface. Any interview with those people, another 50,000 here and there, right? No matter how smartly the English of Gift Urban. I look at Gift Urban and I say, this one is Portable. This is Zazu. Victor Boniface is maybe very Polish, who's a Polish musician, Burna Boy. And then Victor Osimhen is, say, what's it, whiskey, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I look at them. So any interview would give me numbers, and I'm staying in Lagos saying I want to go to Ibadan on Saturday. I've lost that numbers. Nobody's going to give it to me, and you're not apologizing to me or the fans that have committed to want to go to Ibadan to go see that game. Plateau United. I think that's disrespectful. This is the thing that makes it impossible for people to connect with the league, especially at the time where a lot of people, we know that they are distractors, but there are a lot of people who are also working very hard to see the league grow.
Yeah.
Put them into consideration. Think about them as well. And I think that's where the communication didn't go well. I've always said it that the NFL, the league body, they don't know how to give out communication. We still run a slave master mentality where the organization will say they should take it. No, it's their time, it's their money, it's their effort, it's their passion, it's their emotions that they are investing into this, and they deserve to be respected, treated with a little bit of respect. And not having that, I'm not saying, listen, when I tell people that, it's not about taking side. I'm going to take it out with anybody. That's why I put out that video. And some of them saw it and they called me. Hey, David, you be our person. I suppose to defend. I said, no, I can't defend stupidity. Stupidity is stupidity. There's no right way of doing something wrong. If something is wrong, it's wrong. I'm not your staff. I'm working to make your league better. My content are the reason why some people are even loving the league in the first place. I'm marketing for you. I'm pushing for you. I'm rooting. Guy, I'm one of the only people you have. And you should have sense when you put this out. This got nothing to do with your age, but it's a product. We are building a product. It shouldn't die even before it comes out. And you didn't even carry your partners, your financial partners, GTI along. I was at GTI office day before yesterday. You understand? And it was, oh, we're going to Ibadan. Everybody were excited. I was like, I'm not going to you. Say, no, you have to come to Ibadan. Come to Ibadan. I'm going to Ibadan. I bought tickets online for train. I will take 8 a.m. from Ibutemeta to Ibadan, get there 10:30, 10:45, or 11 o'clock. I hang around. I have friends in Ibadan. I just, okay, let's go around and do some on the street content. Me, you, Siko, and Kalijaye. Let's do some on the street content. Match time, we go into the field, watch the game. 8 p.m. in the evening, we'll come back again. 11 o'clock, we're back in Lagos. And then from Ibutemeta, find our way home, respectively. But then now you just wake up and you just think, that's okay. And yeah, you didn't consult. You didn't even reach out to me. Like, trying to reach out to my emotion was sorry for this, or the inconvenience will cause anybody. You just feel like it's okay, and then I'm going to shut my mouth. No.
All right.
I resemble people who go court, go sleep.
The MPFL CEO has come out to say a new kick update will be communicated in a few days. Remember, this is the second time the season will be postponed, having shifted from, I think, August 26th to September 9th. So we are keenly waiting for the new kickoff date of the new MPFL season. So with that, it's a wrap on the show. Today's been a whole an hour and 30 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And I mean, it's always fun on the sport buffet.
No, with you, it's 90 minutes. When we have you, it's 90 minutes.
It's always fun, and I've enjoyed the ride and everything. Tomorrow is one more day, the last day of the show for the week. And we'll talk Super Eagles. We'll go into the squad details. I don't know if you still have your Boniface and Urban interview still lined up. I don't know what's
hopefully.
Talk about Super Eagles and I mean some
hopefully
tomorrow on the show. So yeah, keep it on us. Final words from you.
All right, guys, thank you very much. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe. And if we're doing live, please do well to like it. We are friends. We're building a community here. We're building a community, and we want this community to be one of the best community, one of the most united, dedicated. And as we go in, there's going to be giveaway. Somebody suggested I should start doing giveaway. I can't start something I cannot sustain. Right now, exactly. I'm barely trying to buy fuel, barely trying to buy data. Let me breathe. And when things get well, if the numbers go up and we're doing well, we will do giveaway. Definitely we will do giveaway. But right now, Paco, I saw you on LinkedIn. If it's the same person, and I'm almost thinking, wow, this guy is up there. Well done. Paco says, we like to hear from Boniface and Urban. Good luck. We're working on it. It's not really easy, especially when the players enter camp. It's hard to extract them for interview because there are like 4 people in a room or 2 people in a room, depending on how they are paid. And sometimes it's difficult because the Eagles have scheduled things to do every hour. To do an interview, it's not that easy, but I'm working on it.
Easier if you're there, but
if I'd gone to the camp, I'm now that I'm even in the marketing committee of the NFF, it would have been very, very easy. But look at what the league people did to me now. And you know the funny thing, I had one bros who was willing, one of my Calabar, Mr. Akman, that works with one of the telecom companies. He wanted to pay for my flight to. I tell her, he said how many will be. I said will be 4. It's okay. If I feel secure accommodation, he go take care of flight, going and coming. I can call and say I won't go Ibadan. See now. And you know those kind of person, I know tell you it's okay, make I send you the money. No, they'll just hold out.
Yeah.
Even though in my mind,
You wouldn't even want to tell him to send the money.
you know, in my mind, I won't tell her. Say, bros, send me the flight money now. It go help because I don't really get money. But my logic over emotion, my logical thinking will say, no, don't do that. It's not good. It's like you're going over the top. But hey, it's one of those things anyway. We will take them. We'll go, now our country, now we will still build up. People will keep making this kind of foolish decisions. We'll find a way to fight the fight. We will disagree to agree. We're not going to be permanent enemies, but we're going to disagree to agree and we'll fix it. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining on the show. Once again, my name is Idafi Manchester. You love to come in the level on the spot. The show is better now with Emmanuel Sebastian on it. So it's no longer the sports buffet with Idafi Manchester or the Elevator One. It's the sports buffet with Emmanuel Sebastian and the Elevator One. Thank you very much. God bless you. And please keep sharing our content and commenting and liking our content till we get to the point where even every one of you would say, this company now we help build up. God bless you and have a wonderful day. Remember, always be the solution and not the problem.
Bye.
Whoa. Where do I start? Listen.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio. Elegbete TV Radio. We are not just about radio, TV, or YouTube numbers. We are all about connecting with people and creating a community of great minds and values. Elegbete TV Radio.